Grace Mitchell stood by her kitchen window, gazing out at the golden hues of the early autumn trees lining her quiet neighborhood in Dayton, Ohio. At 65, the milestone of retirement was just weeks away, and while many of her friends spoke with apprehension about growing older, Grace felt a quiet determination to make this chapter the best yet. She wanted to live fully, healthily, and with purpose, refusing to accept the stereotype of decline that often accompanied aging. For years, Grace had cared for others as a nurse, witnessing firsthand how the choices people made affected their health in their later years. Now, with her own health in her hands, she resolved to embrace habits that would help her thrive in old age. Her journey began unexpectedly one Saturday morning at the Willowbrook Community Center, where she attended a seminar led by Dr. James Carter, a beloved local geriatric specialist. Dr. Carter spoke with warmth and clarity, outlining 6 habits that could make all the difference in aging gracefully. Grace was captivated. His message was simple but powerful: good nutrition, consistent physical activity, mental engagement, nurturing social connections, preventive health care, and cultivating a positive mindset formed the foundation for healthy aging. The first habit was nutrition. Grace had always enjoyed cooking, but she realized that the demands of everyday life had led her to settle for quick, less nutritious meals more often than she liked. Dr. Carter emphasized the importance of eating fresh, whole foods, fruits and vegetables bursting with color, whole grains rich in fiber, and lean proteins to maintain muscle strength. Processed foods and excess sugar, he warned, could accelerate inflammation and chronic disease. Inspired, Grace spent the next few days transforming her pantry and refrigerator. She sought out farmers' markets, discovering the vibrant flavors of fresh produce that seemed to energize her with every bite. She experimented with new recipes, like roasted Brussels sprouts with garlic, quinoa salads with cranberries and nuts, and grilled salmon seasoned simply with lemon and herbs. Her neighbor, Tom Anderson, a retired high school coach in his early 70s, noticed the change when Grace invited him over for a healthy lunch. Tom had struggled with his weight and blood pressure for years, and often joked that he loved fried food a little too much. But seeing Grace's colorful plate and hearing about Dr. Carter's seminar sparked something in him. They decided to support each other, sharing recipes and cooking tips, even planning weekly meal swaps. Grace discovered that eating well wasn't just about health. It became a joyful ritual that connected her to her body and to those around her. The second habit was staying physically active. For Grace, this was both daunting and exciting. She had enjoyed walking but had never maintained a consistent exercise routine. Dr. Carter stressed that activity need not be intense. Even gentle movement like walking, stretching, or light strength exercises could preserve muscle mass, improve balance, and boost mood. Starting small, Grace took morning walks around her neighborhood park. The crisp air, the sound of leaves crunching underfoot, and the sight of squirrels darting about invigorated her senses. After a few weeks, she added yoga sessions from a senior-friendly online program, focusing on flexibility and breathing. Grace noticed her stiffness eased and her energy increased. Tom, encouraged by Grace's commitment, invited her to join a weekly low-impact aerobics class at the community center. There, laughter and encouragement filled the room as the group moved together, some using chairs for support. Grace found herself looking forward to these classes, not just for the exercise, but for the social interaction. The third habit Dr. Carter recommended was mental engagement. Grace knew that keeping the mind sharp was essential for independence and joy in later years. He suggested activities like reading, puzzles, learning new skills, or volunteering, all ways to challenge the brain and maintain cognitive function. Grace joined the Willowbrook Book Club, discovering new authors and lively discussions that stretched her thinking. She also volunteered to teach knitting at a local elementary school, rekindling an old hobby and feeling rewarded as the children learned eagerly. Each evening, she committed to crossword puzzles, delighting in the satisfaction of fitting words together. Tom found his own mental engagement through woodworking, a hobby he had set aside when his coaching days ended. Dusting off old tools in his garage, he began crafting birdhouses and small tables. The precision and creativity required kept him focused and proud. The fourth habit was nurturing social connections. Dr. Carter explained that human connection was crucial for emotional health and longevity. Loneliness, especially among older adults, could increase risks of depression, cognitive decline, and even heart disease. Grace understood this deeply. She rekindled relationships with old friends, organized weekly coffee meetups, and made it a point to visit her daughter Rachel, who lived in a nearby town more often. She also invited neighbors to join her and Tom in starting a community garden. The project blossomed quickly, providing fresh vegetables, a meeting place, and a sense of belonging. Tom, who had lost his wife a few years earlier, found solace and joy in these growing friendships. The garden became a place of healing and laughter, where stories were shared and new memories made. The fifth habit focused on preventive healthcare. Grace had always been careful with her health, but now she took it further. She scheduled annual physicals, kept vaccinations current, and paid close attention to early signs of illness. She learned that regular screenings could catch problems before they worsened, allowing for easier management. Tom initially resisted medical visits, but seeing Grace's proactive approach inspired him. His first checkup in years uncovered early-stage hypertension, which, with lifestyle changes and medication, was brought under control. He thanked Grace for encouraging him to take this step, realizing that prevention was empowerment. Finally, the sixth habit was cultivating a positive mindset and purpose. Dr. Carter explained that optimism and a sense of meaning could influence health and longevity just as powerfully as diet and exercise. Grace reflected on her life's blessings and challenges, choosing gratitude as her daily practice. She started journaling, noting moments of joy, kindness, and hope. She set goals to learn new skills, volunteer, and foster connections. Tom found purpose mentoring young athletes at a local high school, drawing from his coaching experience to inspire the next generation. Together, Grace and Tom's lives blossomed. They felt stronger, happier, and more connected than they had in years. Their story inspired the entire Willowbrook community, showing that aging was not an end but a new beginning. Grace often thought back to that seminar and Dr. Carter's words. The 6 golden habits weren't just advice, they were a way to reclaim life's fullness at any age. She encouraged others to start small, be patient, and keep moving forward. After all, every day was an opportunity to grow healthier, wiser, and more joyful.